You know that feeling, right? Your heart is pounding right before you click buy, or that awful sinking feeling of regret just moments after you've made a trade. Well, if you've been there, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to talk about the single biggest threat to your trading success, your own emotions. Let's dive in.
Come on, we've all done it. That gut-wrenching moment, a split second after you've pulled the trigger where you just know you let your feelings get the best of you. That's the exact moment we're here to unpack, to understand, and yeah, to finally conquer.
Look, to win this battle, you've got to know your enemy. So we're going to treat these emotions not just as feelings, but as actual characters. Saboteurs, really, trying to hijack your cockpit and fly your account straight into the ground. So let's meet the four main culprits, shall we?
Okay, first up is fear. This saboteur is a real master of disguise. On one hand, it can totally freeze you up, making you watch a perfect trade setup just sail away without you. But then, on the other hand, it creates that infamous fear of missing out, FOMO, that makes you chase a stock that's already gone vertical. It's a lose-lose.
Next, let's talk about greed. Greed. This is the siren song of the market, right? It's that little voice whispering in your ear, just a little more, let it run, we're going to be rich. Greed is what convinces you to throw your perfectly good profit target out the window, chasing some crazy jackpot. And you know how that usually ends. A solid win turns into a painful loss.
And then there's its even more dangerous cousin, hope. Now, when a trade goes against you, hope is the saboteur that chains you to a sinking ship. It keeps whispering, "Don't worry, it's going to turn around any second now." Hope is the emotion that makes you ignore the number one rule in all of trading: cut your losses and cut them fast. And finally, we have regret. This one ambushes you after the trade is already over. It doesn't matter if you missed a huge winner or you just took a loss. That painful feeling of regret can be so strong that it leads to what we call revenge trading. Making these wild, impulsive bets just to try and get back at the market. And let me tell you, the market always wins that fight. So here's the most important point. Feeling fear or greed or hope or regret, it doesn't make you a bad trader. It just makes you human. The problem isn't having the feeling. The problem is when you let that feeling grab the steering wheel and start making the decisions for you.
So, we've met the saboteurs. Now, let's take a look at the actual damage they leave in their wake. Because when these emotions are in charge, you're not just trading anymore. You've entered the danger zone. That place where disciplined investing completely breaks down and, let's be honest, turns into pure gambling.
This chart just lays it all out perfectly. You can see the cause and effect right here. Each of these emotions triggers a specific, predictable, and totally destructive action. Fear? It leads to panic selling right at the bottom. Greed? It leads to FOMO buying right at the top. It's a simple chain reaction. The emotion hijacks your brain, it forces a bad decision, and, surprise, surprise, it almost always leads to a losing result.
And this quote, this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. When emotion is your co-pilot, you're not investing. You're just rolling the dice. The hard truth is that most losses out there don't come from bad analysis or faulty charts. They come from emotional decisions that completely sabotage any good work you did beforehand. All right, enough of the doom and gloom. We've identified the saboteurs and the chaos they create. So the big question is, how do we fight back? Well, it's not about having more willpower. It's about having a system. It's time to open up the playbook and take back control. Here it is, a 5-step process. Step 1 is simple. Recognize them. You can't fight an enemy you can't even see. Just being aware is your first line of defense. Step 2, pause. Seriously, make a hard and fast rule. If you feel emotional, you do not click that mouse, period. Step 3, stick to your plan. Your plan is your anchor. It was made by a rational brain when you were calm. Trust that brain, not your emotional one. Step 4, use systems. Automate your exits with stop losses and take profit orders. Take your emotional fingers out of the equation. And finally, step 5, take breaks. Sometimes the best trade you can make is no trade at all. Just walk away from the screen and reset. So, as we start to wrap this up, let's reframe what the goal really is here. This whole thing isn't about trying to turn yourself into some kind of emotionless trading robot. That's impossible. And frankly, it's not even the goal. It's about becoming the calm, confident pilot in the cockpit of your own trading account. And this right here, this is the key takeaway of this whole explainer. The absolute best traders out there still feel fear. They still feel greed.
The difference is, they have built a system of discipline that acts like a firewall, preventing those feelings from turning into actual clicks. They acknowledge the emotion, and then they get back to executing their plan.
So just remember, emotional control is a skill. It's a muscle, and you develop it over time, with practice and with awareness. It's not something you're just born with. It's something you build, one trait at a time, one day at a time.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Every chart, every candlestick, every single tick up or down, it's all just a picture of collective human fear and greed playing out in real time. So the only question that really matters is this. Are you going to be swept away in that emotional crowd? Or are you ready to be the one who masters their own?